The crypto market is rallying right now and Bitcoin is breaking out. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the breakout Bitcoin is having, the imminent breakout we are expecting on the total 3 chart for the altcoins, and which altcoins are looking ready right now to bring about huge gains. If that sounds interesting, then please make sure to leave a like on today's video, subscribe to the channel as well if you are new, and make sure to use the promo code UPTOBER, that's UPTOBER, at checkout on Lifetime VIP and the Big Bundle. It only applies to those two options. So Bitcoin has broken above the downward sloping resistance from the descending channel. Great. And it is now officially broken above the macro resistance trend line. The trend line on Bitcoin, the white line, which has been in play for Bitcoin since 2017. It has broken back above that after we had a break in July. You can see how many times this trend line has been rejected on. We broke above it in July, but it was very short-lived. You know, it was just a short kind of blip above it. We then dropped back below it, and since we dropped below it, it has been difficult for BTC to get back above it. There's no doubt about that. You can see rejection here, and finally now we are having that break above, and this cannot be ignored. This is absolutely huge for Bitcoin. I have now officially flipped bullish on the BTC chart. Now, when it comes to total 3, we are still slightly below all-time highs on total 3. We're waiting for that breakout. We're waiting for that green light to give us price discovery mode on total 3, and when we see that, I am expecting a massive move to the upside, because you do have this kind of cup and handle formation on total 3, which I haven't drawn out very well, but you can still see it. And the breakout zone for that would bring us to around 2 trillion on total 3. And if we do some fibs from the November high down to the tariff crash low, we can see that we have a 1.618 fib at 1.47 trillion and a 2.618 fib just below 2 trillion. This would be the level we'd be looking at as a macro target when we have a break of this resistance line. Absolutely huge for altcoins, this, because it's basically almost a 2x from where we currently are sat on total 3. So that's a value double almost on the overall altcoin market. And whilst a 2x might not sound like a huge deal, the reality is, on this channel, we are holding coins way better than the baseline. If the baseline goes up 10%, we make 30%. We make 40% gains. So if the baseline goes up 2x, as in total 3, then we'd be looking at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe even 9 or 10x on some of the altcoins we are holding, because we are in the clear winners, which I pick day in and day out. If you want to see my real-time buy signals, the VIP is down below. And I have a secret gem, which the VIPs currently have access to. It's right down in the golden pocket region, and I believe it's a great buy at these current prices. So Bitcoin breaking out, total 3, on the cusp of a breakout. I mean, it looks imminent. And if you look at the weekly RSI on total 3, you can see how high it's been in the past. We're nowhere near those levels, guys, yet we're at all-time highs. So last times total 3 has been at the current value it's at, the RSIs were way higher, we were way more overbought, but we're currently sat at those same levels, if not higher, yet the RSI is still very much kind of in neutral territory, not necessarily overbought, not necessarily oversold. And, you can see all the way back to the 2017 high, how high that one went. I don't think we're going to be getting an RSI that high. But it just shows you, right? It puts into perspective where things are when you look at the RSI on the weekly. And especially when you look at the fear and greed, if you go and check the fear and greed, you'll see that we're very much in neutral territory. We were even slightly in the fear territory, despite Bitcoin being way over 100K, Ethereum being above 4K, we managed to creep just into the fear. So that to me shows that we have a huge amount of upside so we can get into the extreme greed. It could take many weeks to even get into extreme greed, because of how low the fear and greed has been for a long time. It's going to take a while to fully reset it to the extreme greed level. When we look at the Russell 2000, it looks literally identical to total 3, just on the cusp of a new all-time high. You can see first high in November 2021, same as crypto. Second high in November 2024, same as crypto. Third high in September 2025, same as crypto. It's looking identical to the total 3 chart. And when one of these breaks, I'm pretty sure the other will as well. Obviously, the Russell would be more of the leading indicator. So if the Russell 2000 here gets a breakout to all-time highs, I am strongly expecting total 3 to follow and markets across the board to go risk on. We have a government shutdown still currently in place. It is expected that it will continue probably onwards after the 10th of October, maybe even continuing after the 15th of October. This is really not affecting price action too much. So it was really just a bit of fear mongering from people to say that you should sell your bags as a result of this. Now, I want to talk a little bit about layer ones because we've seen Ethereum perform very well in the last few months, get from 1.3K all the way up to 5K. I think we are going to get a narrative brewing very soon with catch-up trades, competitive layer ones to Ethereum, layer ones that would be deemed Ethereum killers, right? And if you look at the kind of dominance of Ethereum in that layer one sector, especially the smart contract layer one sector, because many people forget Bitcoin is a layer one, it has total dominance of that smart contract L1 sector. $529 billion valuation for Ethereum compared to the second in place, BNB, having $145 billion. So I think there's a big catch-up trade with a lot of these alts to try and get to, obviously not the same market cap as Ethereum, but a better ratio to where they are now. And some of the ones I personally favor would be Sui. I think Sui's absolutely a steal right now at a $12 billion valuation. Another one I really like the look of would be Say, even more of a steal at a $1.8 billion valuation. I think we're going to see a narrative brewing, especially as we start to see some of these ETFs get approved for the altcoins and they get more legitimacy on the grand stage and businesses can put them down on their balance sheets. I think we're going to get a big move towards other L1s other than just Ethereum. And that is, as you know, the next stage in that altcoin season. Now, speaking of altcoin season, a coin which would do very well in a risk-on environment would be Zora because it's in a very speculative, retail-driven narrative, which is Web3 social media. It currently has a market cap of $278 million. And many people were panic selling Zora right at the bottom. I actually ended up buying more Zora at around a 0.048 price because people were just panicking. And when people panic, when there's blood in the streets, usually that is the time to actually go buying, in fact. And yeah, I picked up a bit of Zora. We're seeing a nice rally. It's not only regained the golden pocket, but it looks like it is attempting to break out above it. The RSI on the daily looks completely reset. Looks like it's flipping bullish. It just looks primed for a move up, Zora, right now. And I'm very glad that I didn't sell any and I actually went on to double down and buy even more. Because I was considering selling some of my Zora if it lost the golden pocket. But the problem was, by the time it was the daily close, Zora already fell all the way down to basically the 786 fib level. So what, are you going to sell it and then buy back in 2% lower, 3% lower? It just doesn't make sense to me. So, Zora is looking prime right now, and that was one of the recent VIP calls. It's still at a great buy zone in the golden pocket, so get that one on your radar. Another coin and sector I think is extremely undervalued is Morpho and the borrowing and lending sector. We've seen various DeFi sectors pump this cycle. We've seen the perp DEX narrative gain a lot of momentum, and Avantis did a 10x in 10 days for me and my VIP members. But a project which I think is cruelly undervalued is Morpho in the borrowing and lending sector of DeFi. It is 13 times smaller than Aave's all-time high, and it is directly integrated and listed within Coinbase. It is the, I believe, de facto borrowing and lending protocol within Coinbase. So if you think 5 years down the line how big Coinbase is going to be, there's going to be, it's basically going to be like a new bank. And people will essentially be getting loans from Coinbase. And Morpho will be the number one protocol facilitating that. So I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the chart. And it looks super cheap. Came down to the golden pocket, had a nice little bounce. We're getting a up reversal signal on the prime oscillator, which is linked down below. And it just looks prime to me for a big run. So Morpho is one I would absolutely be accumulating right now. People have been asking me a lot about Avantis. It's still in the same zone it was in yesterday, right above the golden pocket. looking like it's about to have potentially another move to the upside. But the beauty is, when you had such a good entry like we did at 28 cents and you made a 10x in 10 days, you took some profits, you've got no stress. It's having a pullback. It's totally normal, totally healthy. You've got no stress. Same way those guys who bought Ethereum at 1.3K during the April crash, no stress when it pulls back to 4K from 5K. It's just a totally normal correction. And man, there were so many people making out as if it was doom and gloom, apocalyptic for Ethereum, just having a normal correction. It went from 1.3K all the way up to around 5K. You don't think it's going to correct a little bit down to 4K? Totally healthy, totally reasonable, totally organic correction. Yet people were fear mongering, people were freaking out, and it was just crazy to see. Also, I wanted to let you know about the exclusive giveaway that you can get using my Blowfin link down below. This is the exchange which I personally trade on. I've got a couple of long positions open right now, one of which is in Say, and if you sign up using my link down below, you could potentially get an iPhone 17. I believe you can get like the US dollar equivalent of that. So you can go and buy yourself an iPhone. Check it out. Link down below. This is the exchange which I'm personally using to trade on. And the Discord group will continue being insanely active. Even right now, I personally am not online. And you can see there's a bunch of people in the voice chat talking about the markets, discussing ideas, researching projects. And it's a great place to be. This is the place to be if you want to be in the know for crypto. You get my real-time buys and sells, and you get daily voice chats and daily discussions. Appreciate all of you watching. Check all of the information out linked down below. And I'll be uploading on my new channel some altcoin-specific content. So make sure you subscribe to the Crypto Archie Plus channel. There'll be some new in-depth altcoin reviews over there. If you have any altcoins you want me to personally review on that channel, then make sure to put them in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.